Yo, what's up everybody? It's your name. And listen, I'm about to blow your mind. Forget everything you thought you knew about travel because I'm about to drop some serious knowledge on you. We're talking about a place that's been flying under the radar for way too long, a place where history explodes out of the ground, where the food will rock your world, and where the landscapes look like they were pulled straight out of a movie set. That's right, we're talking about Armenia. This country is the real deal. Ancient monasteries clinging to cliffs, valleys bursting with color, canyons that seem to go on forever. And the best part, most people have no idea how incredible it is, but you will. Get ready to hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell because we're about to dive headfirst into the most amazing hidden gems Armenia has to offer. You don't want to miss this. What if I told you there's a country where ancient monasteries cling to cliffs, landscapes shift from lush green valleys to otherworldly canyons, and the food? Oh, it's a flavor explosion you'll never forget. Welcome to Armenia, one of the most underrated travel destinations in the world. Stick around, because we're about to unveil the most amazing places you have to see. Alright, first up we're dropping into Yerevan, the capital of Armenia. This city is a trip, literally. We're talking over 2,800 years old. That's older than Rome, people. You can practically feel the history in the air here. But don't think for a second that Yerevan is stuck in the past. This city is buzzing. We're talking a crazy mix of old and new. Think ancient churches next to trendy cafes, traditional markets overflowing with handmade goods, and street art that'll make your jaw drop. First things first, you gotta hit up the Cascade Complex. Imagine a giant staircase carved into a hillside covered in crazy cool sculptures and fountains. Climb to the top and boom, you're smacked in the face with an insane panoramic view of the entire city. Trust me, it's epic. And speaking of epic, let's talk about the food. Armenian food is next level. We're talking fresh, flavorful, and made with love. You have to try a lavash wrap. It's like a giant burrito filled with all sorts of deliciousness. And don't even get me started on the dolma grape leaves stuffed with rice, herbs, and sometimes meat. Seriously, drool-worthy. Now when you're in Yerevan, you gotta wander. Get lost in the maze-like streets of the old city, check out the Republic Square with its dancing fountains, and soak up the energy of this place. One more thing, don't leave without haggling for some souvenirs at Vernissage Market. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. Trust me, you'll find something you can't live without. Alright, time to ditch the city and journey back in time. We're talking way back, like 1st century AD back. Our first stop, Garni Temple. This place is straight out of a history book. Imagine a perfectly preserved Greco-Roman temple perched on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a valley that seems to stretch on forever. It's like something out of Indiana Jones. This place was once a major hub for pagan worship, and you can totally feel that ancient energy as you walk through the towering columns. It's like stepping back in time. But hold up, the adventure doesn't stop there. Just a short drive away is Geghard Monastery, and this place is next level incredible. We're talking about a monastery partially carved into a freaking mountain. This place dates back to the 4th century, and legend has it that it once housed the spear that pierced the side of Jesus. Talk about holy ground. You walk through these dimly lit chambers with sunlight streaming through narrow openings, and you can practically hear the whispers of monks chanting centuries ago. It's seriously awe-inspiring. And hey, while you're in the area, make sure to grab some gata bread from a local vendor. It's this sweet, buttery pastry that'll have you wanting more. Alright, buckle up because this next adventure is going to blow your mind. We're talking about Tatev Monastery, a 9th century fortress perched precariously on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a gorge so deep it'll make your stomach drop. But getting there is half the fun. We're talking about the wings of Tatev, the longest reversible cable car in the world. This thing stretches for almost 6 kilometers, soaring over this massive canyon, giving you insane views the entire way. As you're gliding through the air, you'll spot tiny villages clinging to the hillsides, rivers snaking through the valley floor, and the monastery itself growing larger and larger as you approach. It's like something out of a dream. And speaking of dreams, wait until you step inside Tatev Monastery. This place is a maze of ancient churches, chapels, and chambers, all connected by narrow passageways and hidden staircases. You can totally imagine monks wandering these halls centuries ago, seeking refuge from invaders. And the views from the monastery, don't even get me started. We're talking panoramic vistas that stretch on forever, with the sun setting over the distant mountains, casting this golden glow over the entire landscape. It's enough to take your breath away. Chapter 4, Lake Sevan, the sparkling jewel of Armenia. Okay, so you know how some countries are landlocked? Well, Armenia is one of them. But let me tell you, they don't need an ocean because they've got Lake Sevan. This place is massive. We're talking one of the largest high-altitude freshwater lakes in the world, and it's absolutely stunning. Picture this. Crystal clear water that shimmers like 1,000 diamonds, surrounded by rolling hills and snow-capped mountains in the distance. It's the kind of place that makes you want to take a deep breath and just soak it all in. And perched on a peninsula jutting out into the lake, you'll find Vorotan Monastery. This ancient monastery dates back to the 9th century, and it offers some of the most incredible views of the lake and the surrounding countryside. You can wander through the ancient church, feeling the weight of history all around you, and then step outside to gaze out at the endless expanse of blue. It's enough to make you feel like you're on top of the world. But Lake Sevan isn't just about the views. It's also a great place to relax, take a dip in the surprisingly cold water, and try some delicious local cuisine. Make sure to order some fresh-caught Sevan trout. It's grilled to perfection and bursting with flavor. Chapter 5. Dilijan, Escape to Armenia's Switzerland. Alright, if you're craving some serious peace and quiet, then Dilijan is calling your name. This place is like stepping into a fairy tale. We're talking lush forests, rolling hills, and charming little villages that look like they haven't changed in centuries. Seriously, this place is so idyllic, they call it Armenia's Switzerland. You can wander through the cobblestone streets, past traditional wooden houses with balconies overflowing with flowers, and stop for a cup of herbal tea in a cozy little cafe. But the real magic of Dilijan lies just outside the town itself. We're talking about Dilijan National Park, a sprawling wilderness of dense forests, sparkling rivers, and hidden waterfalls. You can hike through the woods, breathing in the fresh mountain air, and stumble upon ancient monasteries tucked away amongst the trees. One of the coolest is Geghard Monastery, a 13th century complex that looks like it was plucked straight out of a fantasy novel. It's the kind of place that makes you feel like you've stepped back in time, and while you're in Dilijan, you have to try the honey. Seriously, it's some of the best honey I've ever tasted. Sweet, floral, and bursting with flavor. You can find it at local markets or even straight from the beekeepers themselves. Chapter 6, Korvirap, Witnessing the Legend of Mount Ararat. Alright, we've saved the best for last. We're talking about Korvirap, a monastery that offers what is arguably the most iconic view in all of Armenia. Picture this. A 17th century monastery perched on a hilltop, with the snow-capped peak of Mount Ararat looming large in the background. For Armenians, Mount Ararat holds a special significance. It's where Noah's Ark is said to have landed after the Great Flood, and it's considered a sacred symbol of their heritage. And let me tell you, seeing it in person is a powerful experience. But Korvirap is more than just a pretty view. This place is steeped in history. It was here in this very spot that St. Gregory the Illuminator was imprisoned for 13 years before converting Armenia to Christianity in the 4th century. You can actually climb down into the pit where he was held captive. It's dark, damp, and claustrophobic, and it gives you a real sense of the hardships he endured. But the real magic happens at sunrise. As the sun slowly creeps over the horizon, casting its golden rays across the plains, Mount Ararat emerges from the shadows, its snow-capped peak glowing with an ethereal light. It's a sight you'll never forget. Chapter 7. Discover Armenia. You won't regret it. So there you have it, guys. Armenia, a country bursting with history, culture, and natural beauty that will blow your mind. We're talking ancient monasteries clinging to cliffs, crystal clear lakes reflecting the sky, and food that will make you want to lick your plate clean. From the bustling streets of Yerevan to the tranquil shores of Lake Sevan, from the mountaintop monastery of Tatev to the legendary slopes of Mount Ararat, Armenia has something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? It's time to ditch the tourist traps and discover the hidden gems of this incredible country. Trust me, you won't regret it. So there you have it. The most amazing places in Armenia, from ancient temples to sky-high monasteries and breathtaking nature. Which spot stole your heart? Drop a comment below. And if you're craving more jaw-dropping destinations, stick around, because next we're uncovering the hidden wonders of next video teaser, outro music, final drone shots, and call to subscribe.